This podcast is sponsored by MD Serono and AbbVie.
Y'all look so good. Give yourselves a round of applause. Y'all never miss a beat with the color scheme on a Sunday. How many people went to the VIP dinner last night? Raise your hand. How many people had fun? I had too much fun. Whew. Been paying for it all morning, y'all. Y'all know how to turn up. Y'all seen the trailer? Did you like it? How many people have listened to the podcast? Okay. That's cool, but y'all gotta now subscribe and listen. Well, I want a little background about the podcast. It was it was a natural progression. I was trying to figure out what is a new medium that I can connect with our community and continue to talk to our community. Everybody doesn't like a webinar. You know, everybody won't make it to Wellness Weekend. And I'm like, what do I like? And I'm an avid podcast listener. I listen to podcasts all day. And I'm like, oh, let me get in their ear, like on their car ride. And so that was kind of the idea behind it. But in general, the concept, patient in you, was that everybody's a patient. From the day we're born, you're a patient. And everybody has their own patient experience. And I wanted to unearth, more than just, we talk about those of us who live with chronic illnesses and from our perspective, but what about the caregiver's perspective? What about, the son of someone who is living with something, or the wife? I just wanted to talk to everybody about their patient experience so that we can really lean into how we can be more empowered patients, how we can be more confident patients. What I learned about people's patient, I call it patienthood, but the patient experience is that it's so vulnerable. A lot of people have never had to advocate for themselves in that way, or it's scary. So they're like, I don't want to talk to anybody about my patient experience, or I'm not gonna ask my doctor this. I can't tell my doctor no. FYI, you can fire your doctor. You're the boss. So if you've never fired a doctor, try it. It's kind of fun. So today, I usually interview someone, obviously, but I thought I would accept some questions. So I have a few questions that I'll answer, but then I'll take a few questions live on the spot, and then you'll contest my interviewing skills or my podcast host skills. All right, so the first question, actually, I think I can call them up, right? I think we agreed on that. Okay, I'm just talking to myself now. All right. We got a mic over there. Sam Smith, are you here? Still here? Oh, Sam, you left us? Okay, I'll ask the question myself. Sam's question, she's from Chicago. It seems you are always positive. I know there are hard days, but I imagine being positive is how you've accomplished all that you have. How do you maintain that energy? That's funny because I'm not positive. I mean, I am, but I'm kind of an ass too. But no, positive. I think I'm positive, but I think that I'm also just like, if it ain't one thing, it's another thing. You know what I mean? My mom taught me that. She always said that. If it ain't one thing, it's another. And not in the negative way, but just like, get a grip. You know what I mean? Like, keep going. And that has stuck with me because it always is gonna be something. If you get your hair done, it's gonna rain. You know what I mean? Like, it's always just something. And you just kind of have to roll with the punches. I think that I'm not daily saying, Victoria, be positive, because I'll be complaining all the time. But I think it's just more of a push-through mentality. I think it is more of a standard of excellence mentality. That's just the thing I'm going for every day or in life. And so I think that could be framed as positive. But I just think I'm a go-getter. And I want to, now that I'm a mom, I want my daughter to also push through because life is going to life. And despite life lifing, what you gonna do? How you gonna look? You know what I mean? Or like, how do you want your outlook to be in life? So I hope that answers Sam's question. Okay, next question. From Tracy Dunbar. Is Tracy here? Hey, Tracy. Give Tracy the mic. Uh, mm. So we don't think we're prepared for that, y'all. All right, I'm gonna ask it for you. Act like I'm Tracy. Hold the mic up like you're asking. What are actionable steps you can share to mentor or advise one that they can take to build community in their community, especially in a city where there are not a lot of individuals who look like us? Is that your question? Okay. All right. Mentor advise. So I always say, I don't know nothing. I always say that to people. Like, I'm not going to say I wouldn't be an excellent mentor, but I feel like I haven't even lived enough life, and I'm just figuring things out. So to build a community, I fell into this. I did not set out to build this community. I think that I come from a strong community, and I have always sought after community, but I don't think that I knew that. You know how you do things, but you don't put words to it, but then you look back, you're like, oh, this is a pattern. I see what you're doing. I think it's a pattern that I adopted. I come from an amazing family, and so my family was a community, family reunion type family, so that's a community right there. My hometown, like high school, like always being a part of a team. I've always been a part of a team, literally. Like 5 at a time, I was crazy. But that is community as well. Being in a choir, being on a pom-pom team, and things like that. I was in the marching band, like just being around others. I think what it was you gotta find your people. And I always look for my people. I'm definitely a unicorn in my family. Like, I was like, I want to go home and do my homework. And my family be like, girl, what? So I'm like, okay, they don't want to do that. Let me go to the people who want to do this. You know what I mean? Or when I was a kid, I was just weird, like, I want to play lawyer. I wanted to be a lawyer, but I wanted to play lawyer. And my friends would be like, lawyer? I want to play house or like with Barbies. I'm like, no, I want to play lawyer. Mom, can you give me a briefcase? And then I end up finding friends, the one weird friend that also wants to play lawyer. And so, you know, like when you feel othered, and not in a bad way, but when you feel othered, it's like, okay, I'll just go find someone who wants to do it. And that ended up being a positive thing because I'm never going to be alone. I will find community anywhere. It could be, oh, you got a ponytail? We the ponytail girls. Oh, you got almond-shaped nails? We the almond-shaped nail girls. Like, it doesn't matter. I will build community. And so, to answer the question directly, one, we can help you. The point of building We Are Ill was to build something national and global, but to make sure that we go to where our people are at. When I was living in LA and I got diagnosed, it took me 4 years to find another black woman with MS. That's crazy. 4 years to meet one. I saw some online, but to literally meet and sit down with another black person with MS, it was 4 years. And so I understand the situation, but that's how we got here today, because I was like, where they at? Where them girls at? Like, I just found them, even if they were in a different state. So, one, use us to help to build that community wherever your community is. Also, where 2 or more are gathered, that's a community right there. And so all you need is one more. And I would start small. And again, we can help you, but meet up at Starbucks. Meet up at Maggiano's. I can't stand Maggiano's, that's why I'm saying that. But meet up and maybe y'all just have a wine night. You know, it can start really small, but find your people. And I guarantee you, like, this has been life-changing for me. I'm a better person because of this community, but I'm also a stronger patient. I'm a healthier person because of this community, because I know the latest information. It allows me time to complain with y'all and relate and resonate to see what I can look like after having MS for 40 years. Like some of you in here have had MS for years, and that allows me to look ahead and say, I can thrive and I can survive. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Yes, okay. We got one more submitted question, and then let's take some juicy ones from the audience. Well, this is in a abbreviation, EC. So I'm not gonna call EC, because I don't know who EC is. How do you navigate work transitions? I've been a nanny for over 20 years, and it's literally all I know. I love my children and their families real bad, but it's gotten harder to secure work. What can I do to keep the momentum or prepare myself for an alternative? This is a good question. So I don't have one advice or thing to say about this, but what I will say is, in this economy, you gotta kind of figure out how to make money in any creative way. And so that's one thing I know about myself. I don't care what job fire me, I'm gonna learn how to make some money. That's just how it is. And I don't wanna say hustle, but hustle? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, we have to be creative in that way. We have to figure out what's gonna work for us. And when I got diagnosed, I was working at a talent agency in LA. It was very stressful. And as soon as I realized, I started to learn a little bit more about MS and the stress levels, I was like, my career's over. My career's over because the job was like, I was trying to be a talent agent. And that's literally like, it's synonymous with stress. Talent agent, they're crazy. And it's a stressful environment because it's a lot of negotiation and a lot of money on the line. And I was like, I can't have the career that I wanted. I've worked all this time to get here, and now I have to quit. And I'm asking God, like, why would you lead me all the way here? I had moved all the way to LA for this job and left everything and figured out how to get to LA, and now I have to leave this job and leave this career. And I did leave because I was like, I need to manage my stress, and this is, a stressful job. And after that, I ended up founding my marketing company, my branding company, Victor Group Creative, that I've had for over 11 years now. And it actually pushed me into it, because it was like, what if you can't work? At that time, I didn't know what was gonna happen. People were sending me articles like, you're gonna be in a wheelchair in a year. You're gonna be sending me articles of other people's experience, but you'll be bedridden, and they're not telling me, but they're sending me an article, and I'm like, are you telling me that this is gonna be my life? And so I was trying to prepare. And I think that day, that time, I don't know, it put something in my back, like, you might not be able to work. You might not thrive in a work environment. Your employer might learn that you have MS, and they might discriminate against you for that. So what you gonna do? And I'm like, I don't know, but something clicked. First of all, I've been a hustler since elementary school. I used to sell candy on the bus. My mama used to be taking me to Sam's Club, buying me candy in bulk, and I would be selling it on the bus. So I've always had that in me, but I was like, you're gonna have to figure it out. And ever since, I've been an entrepreneur and had a business. And I didn't have about 4 or 5 businesses, and I probably always will, because there's a million ways to get it. And I am not going to not eat. Let's just say that. And so my advice would be to utilize some tools. So this is maybe a little untraditional, but ChatGPT. Put that same question in ChatGPT. What are some ways that I can transition and make money that will suit my lifestyle? I'm a person living with MS. I don't know if you have a mobility aid, or you have anything like that where it makes it hard for you maybe to get to work or commute or anything like that. But put those things in there if you feel comfortable and see what it comes up with. There's also, in this world now, there's also so many things to do. Like, you can wash clothes. I think it's called popping or something. You can wash clothes, other people's clothes now. But you can wash clothes at your house and then send it back to them, and you make money from your own house. Like, think like that. And I'm giving that example. what can I do from home? What is an online job that I can find on a job board that I could make a babysitter handbook, a nanny handbook? How can I train other nannies to be popping ass nannies? What kind of guide is that? Are you raising your hand or are you saying yes? Oh, that's you? Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for revealing yourself at the end of the question. What are you about to say?
I've thought about that because I am a very passionate nanny and very good at what I do. And I see girls needing help online, and I'm like, oh, baby, you don't need to post that picture. That's not the picture to be. Like, so I said maybe like some type of training course or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because people ask me all the time, but I never thought about making money from it until now.
Yeah. I hate the phrase. I think it's like, what you can't do, teach. I don't know. Somebody know the phrase? Yes, and I don't like that saying because I feel like it's shade. But I'm not saying that. I am saying there's other ways to flip it. You know what I mean? Like, you can teach if you can't physically do it. And also, now I'm about to start talking business. But like, enterprisingly, that's how you scale, right? You're only one person. You can only babysit or nanny for a set amount of hours with a set amount of families. So how would you scale? Oh, I can teach. I can consult. Now you're scaling, and now you're like, oh, her 20 hours, her 40 hours is mine, under mine. You know what I mean? So thinking that way as well. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you, you did, girl.
Hustle.
Thank you. Hustle hard.
Oh, okay. All right, so shall we take some questions from the audience? Anybody got some questions? Okay.
I want to know, I've had to fire so many doctors, and I'm not nice when I do it.
Oh,
So whenever I feel like a doctor is dismissive,
yeah,
or you just like don't really care about me, you care about my money, I kick you to the curb. I'm like, what do you do? How do you handle it? When you feel like you get a doctor that really don't care about you,
yeah,
they just like the insurance money.
yeah. I have so many things to say. So I've been really blessed to not have too many doctors that I didn't enjoy. I did fire a man because, sorry, men. Sorry, but not sorry. But no, my first neurologist was not an MS specialist, but when I got diagnosed, I didn't know MS specialists existed. So I had a general neurologist, and the reason why I fired him, he was a kind gentleman, but there was a few reasons. First, he didn't look healthy. I don't know about y'all, but I'm not getting my hair done by somebody whose hair is messed up. I'm not getting wardrobe advice from a girl who don't look cute in her outfit with ill-fitting clothes, who don't go to the tailor. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just not doing that. That is just a rule of thumb for me. I'm not going to a trainer that's not in shape. You know what I mean? Like, what's happening over here? I don't know. We're not on the same vibes. I don't know. But, and so for me, that was a big deal for me. He didn't look well. And that is not to discriminate, because that's silly. I'm not well, right? But it just was, I didn't feel like he was well in a way that was suitable for me. And then secondly, man. He was a man, and I'm a woman, and I wanted to learn how this would work for me. Because at the time, I didn't have kids and things like that. I'm like, I want to have a kid, so I need to talk woman stuff. I just certain stuff I didn't feel comfortable talking to him about. And then he was white, and I was like, I need a doctor of color. And so I was looking for a neurologist that was black, and I couldn't find one in LA at the time, but I did find a woman, and I loved her. And then now when I moved to Atlanta, I'm very blessed to have Dr. Missy Joy as my doctor. Round of applause. She's my doctor, but she's also my friend. And we work together all the time. And a lot of things that I jokingly say, but it actually happened in my very first appointment with her, because we were working together before she was my doctor. I switched medicines, or DMTs, and she explained to me how it worked in my body by sketching a picture and then describing it from rappers. She was like, this is the Run DMC, and this is the Eminem. And I was like, yeah, hell yeah. I get what you're saying. Because if you're talking to me about B, T cells and stuff, I'm like, you know, it's a little bit over my head. Not anymore, but it can be. And I'm like, yes, talk to me in rap lyrics. You know what I mean? Give me an artist. Now this is culturally relevant. And I'm like, that's a good doctor. Because she knew she could do that with me. She didn't have to ask me, do I know Run DMC? She already knew I knew. You know what I mean? What's understood don't got to be said. And I was like, this is the type of healthcare that I want. It wasn't just, I mean, I want you to be smart and take good care of me, you know. I want you to have those tools, but I also want to feel seen. I want to be able to talk about my hair. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you got your hair good. You know, like just little things like that. A white male doctor wouldn't talk to me about my braids. And so that just wasn't the experience. And so I haven't had a crazy firing, but finding a good fit is necessary. The second thing I want to say, which is kind of different than what I'm saying about firing, is what I've learned from this experience, especially because now I have so many healthcare provider friends, and I understand, I go to conferences and I'm listening to their experience and what they're dealing with. I've also learned and realized that our expectations of doctors is a little bit off, I think, sometimes as patients. Yes, we should have high expectations of our doctors, but I think we, in part of the work that we do, is to talk about the role of the patient and take some of the ownership off of doctors. And not, so what I'm trying to say is, some people, and they talk to me about it because patient advocate is like, well, don't he know? Don't you know what it is? Look at me. You don't know what I got? And it's like, no, he don't know what you got by looking at you, fool. You know what I mean? Like, he need to look at the x-ray or the MRI, or he needs you to tell him or her everything, not just today. Write notes. Did you come to your appointment with notes? Do you know, did you do any research outside of this appointment, this 20-minute appointment, about your symptoms? Are you describing using descriptive words to describe things? Did you research the DMTs that I told you to research, and then you came back with your own thoughts? You know what I mean? We have to meet doctors halfway. And I'm not saying you don't, but putting all of the onus on a doctor is wild. It's wild. You know what I mean? And I think that we give doctors a hard time in that way. Now, a lot of them, the doctor's clapping over there. But we would not, it's not to say that we should not have high expectations of our doctors. It's more about like, what are you playing your role? You know what I mean? To not only help them, but also, this is not their life. And so we have to not, like, I don't even care, you can't even dismiss me because I got notes. You know what I mean? Like, I got notes. I read the reports. I got a second opinion. You can't even dismiss me. There's no room for that. You can't make me feel like I don't know what this word is that you told me, because I already studied outside this appointment. Like, I got the facts. So it's almost like we literally are partners here. We're dancing together versus you leading this appointment, because I got questions and notes, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to say that, not to take any pressure off of the healthcare providers, but to take a little bit, like, take a step back to make sure that we are doing what we're supposed to do as patients, that we're owning our health, and then go from there in a way that we are leaving room for growth. I tell my team all the time, like, let's say we're working with somebody and it's a bad experience. My team be like, never again. We ain't working with them. I'd be like, no, hold on. Let's look at this. Let's treat this like a relationship and allow room for error, allow room for growth, and give people another chance. But you got to tell them what they did. Like, last time I came here, doctor, I didn't really like how you talked to me. You probably didn't mean it, but when you said this after I asked that, I didn't like it. I felt like I couldn't talk to you, and you're the person I'm supposed to talk to. I had to do that with my OB when I was pregnant. Long story. But either way, let's not be so dismissive. Now, if it's a pattern and a habit and you just absolutely don't like it, say less. Fire, clip.
You know, for me, I don't give them I don't give a second chance.
Got it.
I don't, but maybe
Yeah, but if you think about it, you're
I don't.
You're gonna keep hopping to doctor after doctor after doctor
Well,
who don't
now
know you.
it took a while for me to get a good medical team,
Yeah,
but I can tell when somebody's just not right.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
facts.
And I usually, when I feel that, I just don't.
Yeah.
Because it's my life, it's my health.
No, I'm tracking.
Yeah.
You know best. You know when to, clip. But at the same time, let's also not keep hopping around. I'm not saying you, but just in general. Let's, it's a relationship. Just like, because I know how many times we done gave these men chances. You know what I mean? Okay, I hope that answered your question. I see two hands. I don't know who you. Okay, she's trying to get the mic.
Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Sound like DJ. I'm sorry. Anyway, I had a question. So, is this your ultimate goal, or do you have another goal?
Ooh.
What's the ultimate goal that you want to do? Which this is good. This is great. But is it something, y'all know what I mean.
She like, what next? Give us more.
No, I mean,
keep working.
Because you're so young, you know what I mean? So what are you going to do? What's next for us?
Oh, I don't know. I'm enjoying this right now a lot and seeing where it goes. My work here is not done, so I'm kind of not thinking about next. But I also have so much faith in God. Everything's just been rolling out. Like, I didn't have no plan for none of this, what I'm doing right now, And the way things are unfolding has been so beautiful. I'm like, I don't really got to do nothing. Like, just keep doing the work. I genuinely love this work. And the more I do it, the more I'm like, ooh, this is so cool. It's just so amazing and fulfilling. So I'm kind of leaving it to God and letting it unfold. But I'm also a very smart girl and am positioning myself to continue to do public speaking and to facilitate conversations. And so the podcast was a great strategic step in that direction to practice, because this is my first time being a podcast host, So when I went we batch filmed it. So we shot the full season in a matter of 3 days or something like that. 3-4 days? Something like that, which is crazy. Don't recommend. But I sat there. We were really busy with a lot of stuff, and I didn't really have a lot of time to practice. And then I sat down and about to record. I was like, oh, shit. Like, I ain't practiced. What am I? I'm not a host. Like, what am I about to do? And I just let it fly. I just let it fly, and it was really good, and it was fun. So I say all that to say, I think next for me is whatever God wants, whatever y'all will have me and allow me, meaning the community, as much work as we do, whatever you allow me to do. But also I would love to do more public speaking and continue with the podcast. And, maybe you'll see me, as a new Oprah, a little, you know what I mean? Maybe one day it gets there.
This has been so great. But switching gears a little bit on relationships, if you want to dig into that. I feel like you do. My question is, well, first of all, I do appreciate the sprinkling of bringing in the men's perspective, and it's been really encouraging to actually see men here supporting their wives and partners. Yes, round of applause to them. My question, as someone on the other side being single and still waiting for their Prince Charming, what is your advice or maybe your experience of how you disclose to your significant other that you had MS, or when do you recommend the right time, just because we all suffer from fatigue and stress, and I'm not dealing with that, and that could be perceived as not interest. And so I'm just curious what advice you have as to maybe what you did, or how and when, or what's the best way to talk to somebody as you're in the dating scene about MS.
Yeah. Man, I went so untraditional with my route. I am like this in general, but I'm very much like, what you see is what you get. Like, I don't wait for nothing. Like, I didn't wait to disclose anything. I've been with my husband for 10 years. We got married last year, but we've been together for a long time. And so it was still kind of early on with my diagnosis, but he knew because I was already blabbing my mouth on YouTube, making YouTube videos and on Instagram, you know what I mean? But I dated before that, and I told them too. I told people immediately because one, I was like, depending on what type of medication, right? If you had an infusion, where you going every month for 2 hours, 3 hours? What you doing? I'm not gonna lie. You're not gonna make a liar out of me keeping secrets. I'm at the infusion center for 3 hours. Call you later. You know what I mean? So if I'm dating, it's gonna come up because we talked about my day or my week. So I told the world that I had MS, but I also told men because I didn't want to wait. To me, my opinion, I believe it's a disservice to wait because if they're going to leave when you disclose it after a few months, they was gonna leave at the beginning too. You know what I mean? Like, what we waiting for? Now I like you? You know what I mean? Like, nah, now I'm pissed. You know, we done spent my money on my hair to go on dates. I'm not wasting that money. You know what I mean? So you might as well disclose early, in my opinion. That might not work for everybody as far as comfort level, but I feel like it really helped me because my husband, when we started dating, he knew. So one, they're not even gonna approach you if they don't want to deal with someone with MS. So now you done weeded out all the losers. Losers! So that's one thing. And then we went to college together, but we didn't date until years later. And he knew that I had MS, but we were at a friend's wedding in Chicago, and I actually had a flare-up, and I was in the hospital for like a day, 24 hours or something like that. And I'm like, I gotta make it to this wedding. So I'm like, get me out. You know, like I got out to go to the wedding. And I literally, I was staying with my line sister. I'm like, steam my dress for me, because I gotta get to this wedding. So I got out of the hospital, went to change, went to that wedding and made it. And he was at the wedding. And at the reception, now I knew he liked me, because period. Period, who don't? And at the reception, they had place cards, assigned seating. Child, this man had the staff move his damn seat. And the chairs was all loud, like, And then, so I'm at the seat with, the table with my line sisters, and they like, what the hell? Like, why is he doing this? Because he's moving, he has the staff moving the chairs and putting his place card down. And I'm like, ooh, period. And so we sat, and then I told him that, he was like, how's your night or something? I'm like, honestly, I just got let out of the hospital, discharged from the hospital. I had a flare up. And then he was like, took a sip of a drink. He was like, well, you look beautiful. And I was like, period! But something in that moment let me know that, I knew he knew that I had MS, but something in that moment let me know that he didn't care. And I was like, okay, this is a good thing. And so I say all that to say, people knowing who you are is a good thing. People knowing you, scars, flaws, sickness, that's a good thing. Because if they are your Prince Charming, then they're gonna have to see you in that light anyway. And now he didn't see me pregnant, looking all spazzed out, too sick this morning, all the things. It's for better or for worse. It's good, bad, ugly. And I think that is some of the richest relationships when people know that. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps somebody. Just put it out there. And I think some of the couples in here could attest to just it looking ugly sometimes. And you have to be vulnerable. And starting out early, who laughing because it's ugly? You done seen them ugly? That's what you're trying to say? It's shade? It's shade? Oh, okay. But I hope that helps. It's a beautiful ride, and I know a lot of people in relationships, because if it's not MS or lupus or NMO, it's asthma, it's diabetes, it's a broken leg, a broken foot. Looking at my husband. It's something, and I think that putting it all out there is really helpful.
Victoria, this is your last question.
Okay.
Good morning. First and foremost, what up, though?
What up, Doug?
I recognize that swag. Secondly, I did my homework and I had no idea how amazing this community is. I am so full right now. I just want to congratulate you publicly.
Thank you.
The question is, what do you see as the role for other Black women servicing organizations in support of We Are Ill? Because today I can speak on behalf of BWHI and say we are willing to partner, collaborate, support, whatever you need. But I am interested.
Thank you.
What do you see as our role? How can we help amplify the work that you're doing?
Thank you, and great question. Partnership opportunities, obviously, that's a big one. But I think, so what I see for We Are Ill is we started with MS because I like to be authentic. I am a Black girl with MS, and that's all I knew, and so that was the focus. As we've grown, we started to see that this work was bigger than MS. It's bigger than any therapeutic, any specific therapeutic area. It's about Black women's health. As we've been growing and learning about the needs of our community, we started to see that there were other therapeutic areas that were looking for community. They were looking for home. And so now we're opening those doors, and we'll continue to do that. Now, we can't do everything at one time. So right now, it is lupus and NMO next. Those were strategically the best, closest therapeutic areas to go into next. And then later, maybe it's sickle cell. Later, maybe it's this, right? But essentially, this is an umbrella for Black women's health. And the through line, there's many organizations that focus on Black health, right? But this one is different. This one focuses on the patient for real, for real. Like, and I'm always going to be a patient's girl. You know, like a girl's girl? I'm going to be a patient's girl. I'm always going to make sure that the patients are in the room, at the table, have a voice, and are considered. We have a vote, you know what I mean? There's so many people making decisions for us all the time, and there's so many things that we don't have control of. This we have control of. This we have control of. How we experience and learn about this illness or illnesses, we have control of this. How we want to be perceived, we have control of this. Even when it comes to materials, like when I'm looking at a pamphlet, I want to see a Black girl. I'll be like, give it back. Is she Black? Give it back. Like, I ask my team, I'm like, where the Black girls at? Even when we have our partners and they want us to send an email on their behalf with a flyer or graphic or any printed materials, I always say, where are the Black people at? On here. Send it back. And I even got some notes for some of y'all vendors today for this weekend because I'm like, where are you couldn't find one Black model? You couldn't print one Black person? Draw us. Like, I don't care. Put Black somewhere. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. And so I'm always going to be a patient's girl and make sure that we're represented. And so telling your organization all about us. I think that a lot of people can learn from our organization, meaning how to really put the patient first and make sure that we're amplifying the patient's voice and what the patient really wants. Like, people in industry literally sit in rooms, and they, good intentions, but sit in rooms and say, what do patients need? What do the patients want? How can we help them? And then don't ask the patient, ever. What are you trying, what kind of math equation is this? I don't get it. Why are you trying to figure out something we're grown folks. We're educated. We have an opinion. We know what we want. Ask us. We'll tell you. We'll tell you about our experience, and then based off what you heard, work backwards and help with solutions. Like, don't try to figure it out for us. It's a waste of time. And I think that's why a lot of things in the industry aren't going right, because you're not asking the people that you're trying to serve. And so partnership, amplifying our mission to redefine what sick looks like, because it looks like this, and it looks like all of you. I always say, tell a friend about us. Tell a friend. Everybody knows somebody with MS. Everybody knows somebody with lupus. You know, it's a cousin of a cousin. And as we grow, I think that I would love for us to be the hub for sick Black girls, and where everyone knows to come to us if they want to meet you all where you're at. Thank you. That's my last question. I don't know how do I close? Oh, you know what? Do we have a slide with the QR code? Can we put that up? Take your phones out. Now, this is something I'm gonna mention in my closing remarks, but I'm gonna say it right now. Support looks different. Like, it looks different for different people, right? For us, being transparent, support is more than coming to Wellness Weekend. Now, we love y'all coming to Wellness Weekend, but support is more than coming to Wellness Weekend. It is more than following us on Instagram. It's more than subscribing to our newsletter. It's completing surveys. Yes, I said it, completing surveys. The reason why, and I want to share this, we need you to follow and subscribe to our podcast. We need you to listen to the podcast. We need you to share the podcast, leave a review for the podcast. Not because we do want to read it, but not because it's fun. We need to get the feedback. The feedback helps us get better, to better serve you. But do you want to know how we keep the lights on to serve? Money. Do you know who gives money? Sponsors, funders, donors, things like that. Do you know what they look for? Eyeballs, views, shares, clicks, attendees. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. That is the truth for everything. People say, they're always like, what are your attendees saying? How many people come to your programs? How many people watch this? They want numbers, and that's just how it looks. If you are silently supporting us, it ain't gonna cut it, all right? We need your actual support. But think about it in a way from how do funders look at it? And I know that sucks, but that's just how the world works. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat that for nobody. We need your support in ways that are tangible, meaning a like, a share, a view, a click, a subscription, okay? So even if you don't listen to it, go subscribe. Share it with a friend. We talk about a little bit of everything, okay? And that's a wrap. Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Patient in You podcast live recording with your host, Victoria Reese.
Patient in You is a podcast from We Are Ill. It is hosted by me, Victoria Reese. Our producer is Tribble at Ask Tribble Inc. Original music by Laura Burke. Video content produced by Joshua Duane and Matt Ellis. Don't forget to find us on Instagram at Patient in You and subscribe to our YouTube channel at We Are Ill MS for the full video version of each episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend and leave us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps people find us. For more information about We Are Ill, our programs, and our initiatives, visit our website, weareillms.com.
The Patient in You podcast is for informational purposes only and not medical advice. We Are Ill is not a medical organization. Always consult your physician before making health decisions.
This podcast is sponsored by MD Serono and AbbVie.